The U.S. has approximately 4,500 colleges and universities. Community colleges are 2-year public and actually tribal colleges.
Where is he coming from and all that, so I can share that. It could be like a story that's going to start. There are a lot of myths and misunderstandings, not only India, I'm pretty sure it's like a lot of other places as well, which is so not true. We will help you break those myths today.
Getting into a full-fledged degree program in big university, campus is so big, thousands of students studying over there, you should not be lost between that. Whenever students is targeting and going to abroad, especially USA, they definitely look at their pocket also, like how much that they are going to spend.
Our tuition fees is around $13,000, so around like 11 lakhs a year, which I would say is probably equivalent to a lot of universities.
Community colleges, $13,000 per year.
Correct.
And for UC Berkeley, $60,000 per year.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's about $80,000 in savings.
Great support that you are providing to students who are actually coming first time to USA. How actually 2 years community college degree would lead to 4 years bachelor's program in top universities in USA?
29 have some type of a transfer guarantee. We call TAG, T-A-G.
How actually it can benefit to students who actually are looking some pocket-friendly courses programs. Since Trump administration back in the system, like every day some news is coming from the podium of the White House.
India was charging us tremendous tariffs, about the highest in the world.
Short answer again, ITAP. Go for the ITAP program. Start online.
ITAP stands for International Transfer Academic Program.
Some students interacting with us and they were like, wow, can we do it when we are in our 12th standard? We have around 130 programs at the moment.
Students can apply for fall 2026, basically in another week. So almost 12 months before. California's, we both live there, so we can both talk to this.
You have restaurants there.
There's a huge startup culture in California.
I think global for you guys, because where you're heading and you know what you guys are doing, that's great.
US education doesn't have to be out of reach.
Don't stop chasing your dreams.
Dream is possible.
Hello everyone, welcome to a broadcast from WorldEdX. I'm Ashish Mathur. I'll be your host today. And we have two very special guests, delegates. Ms. Isha Upadhyay, Director of Recruitment, India and Thailand, and Mr. Stephen Hales, Dean of International Education from College of Contra Costa, California, USA. And thank you so much for joining us today, and thanks for accepting our invitation also. And today we would be discussing about the system of College of Contra Costa, the entire system of community college in USA, and what sort of programs they are offering to students who actually are looking some sort of flexible, affordable or world-class pathway programs to get admission into top universities in USA. So, like I know that you have some very special program, ITAP, or a lot of things are there, like especially the 1+1+2 international like transfer academic program, which is also known as ITAP. It is very popular nowadays now. So before starting, I would like to invite you to introduce yourself. Just tell me about yourself. So Isha, you probably can start.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction and thank you for having us here, firstly. Like Mr. Ashish said, my name is Isha Upadhyay. I'm the Director of Recruitment for India and Thailand. And I've been working with colleges of Contra Costa for about 4 years now, but I've always been a part of the industry. And I was always in recruitment for, study abroad, because I myself went as a student to the US. So
Great.
I've been through that journey. So yeah, I'm happy to help students in India, in fact, around India as well.
Perfect. Great. Good to know about that.
Thank you.
I did not know about that. You were also an international student.
Yeah, I did, yes.
Great. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Please, Stephen.
Yeah, so thank you also for the opportunity. It's great to be here. So I got started in international education in the United States back in the late 1990s, working with universities.
Okay.
Been working in the field for just over 20 years, with about 16 of that at colleges and universities. I'm now the Dean of International Education for our colleges, which means that I basically oversee international education for our 3 colleges, primarily with regard to international student recruitment, global partnerships, but also supporting our international student offices at the colleges with respect to student services. So,
Okay.
glad to be here.
Great, good to know about that. So, like the purpose of having this podcast or this sort of discussion is to make our students aware of that what sort of system is there in USA, how actually it can benefit to students who actually are looking some pocket-friendly courses programs and some sort of bridge programs or pathway program to get into admissions in top universities in California, like University of California systems or CSU or any other universities where you have some sort of tie-ups sort of things. And apart from that, our audience definitely would like to know about the job opportunities through CPT, through OPT, or any sort of on-campus opportunities are lying over there, right? But like we would be discussing lot of about ITAP or your transfer program, guaranteed transfer programs, right? As far as I am aware of that, you have a very incredible set of programs over there for STEM or non-STEM, both category, right? So, but before actually we dive in, I would like to start with very casual sort of things. So I got to know that you have been traveling in India from last couple of weeks, right? So you must have met with so many students and parents also. I found some of your posts also on LinkedIn that you visited some of the schools in Delhi, right? And you met with principal or schools. You met a lot of students. You interacted a lot of students. So I would like to know about that, or my audience also would like to know about that, your experience with your recent students or parents to whom you have met. So,
Sure.
yeah.
I think for me, visiting students or like the schools or the counselor, that's changed over time, as you may know. As a student, when I grew up here, it wasn't easy to just reach out to your counselor, because of the limited time and approaches back in the day. But now the counselors have become like the go-to people. They are important part of your school life or your journey. So I think visiting schools and meeting those counselors as well as the management and the students kind of gave me an idea that the school students weren't only engaging or like they were very curious to understand where we are coming from, where my journey kind of started, and just to learn about community colleges, a new concept for them because it's still kind of gearing up in the market. And from that aspect, I feel like it was nostalgia in a way.
Right.
But also the good side of it was that students are outspoken now. They come and they ask, which is a very good thing. So from that aspect, I feel like fulfilling. My trip was very fulfilling. Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
And Stephen, like any sort of moment or memorable incident that you can share with our
Lots of
students?
memorable incidents. It's been a whirlwind. I've been here exactly 1 week. I'm actually leaving tonight, so it'll be kind of a complete 7 days or so. Just to rewind for a second, we made the decision to commit to India as a strategic recruitment market
Okay.
approximately 5 years ago, and then we had Isha come on board soon after that.
Yeah.
And realizing that one of our biggest challenges would just simply be the awareness of community colleges,
Right.
not to mention brand awareness of our community colleges. So to that end, yes, we've been reaching out to try to target a lot of influencers in terms of counselors, independent consultants, and so forth. But we've, in addition to schools in the Delhi region, we've also made some contacts in Mumbai,
Okay.
as well as Bangalore. And one of my takeaways is similar to what it was 5 years ago, is there is really not a lot of awareness of community college, but there's, to Isha's point, really kind of an amazing kind of thirst for knowledge and and really interest in that option that they may not have known about. So we're here kind of to spread that word about that option and to help students see that the dream of going to a top university in the U.S. might be possible after all. So
Absolutely, absolutely. That you have shared incredible experience, your experience. Have you been to India before also?
I have. One of my best friends
Okay.
in my life was a roommate during my master's degree program, and she was from Gujarat, Ahmedabad.
Okay.
And so I went, myself and my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, we went to
Oh.
her wedding.
Okay.
The bride's side.
Oh.
It was only 1 week in Gujarat.
Okay.
We didn't go to the groom's side in Kolkata, but yeah, amazing experience. And to this day, I think it was the best food I've ever had in my life.
You have got the experience of Indian culture weddings also, right?
Yeah, it was incredible. So
Great.
yeah, in
Good.
fact, it's funny you brought that up because that I mentioned that is there's going to be a reunion this December, and she wants to bring everybody back again.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I'd be able to go, but it was amazing.
Great. Good to know. So, let's start getting to know about College of Contra Costa. So, Stephen, my question is for you. Before actually, speaking about your colleges or your system, definitely the students who may not be knowing about the community college system in USA, what is it all about? So, can you just put some your light on this? Like, what kind of system is USA of this regarding this? Like, how students, how many colleges are there?
Right.
Like, just tell us.
Yeah, so the U.S. has approximately 4,500 colleges and universities.
Okay.
And for us, there's not a lot of difference between the word college and university. Typically, university is larger, has maybe more degree programs at higher levels and produces more research. But college can also be 4 years. Community colleges are 2-year public and actually tribal colleges throughout the U.S. So of the 4,500 colleges and universities, about 1,100, so almost 25%, are community colleges. And I think something that's worth sharing with people here is that nearly half of U.S. students who get a bachelor's degree, I think it's 45% of Americans who go on to attain a bachelor's degree,
Isn't it?
start at community colleges.
Huh?
So it's a super common pathway for us to get a bachelor's degree.
Right.
President Biden's wife had once shared that the U.S. community college system is one of the best kept secrets of the U.S. higher education system, and that's something we want to kind of spread as well to here in other markets about that option. And then there are, of course, numerous advantages as well. But one last point that I think is really important is to think of community colleges really as the same as year 1 and 2 of university in terms of the curriculum, in terms of the course structure. What's set up. So whether a student's going to an Ivy League institution or a large public state university, year 1 and 2 in terms of the curriculum is very, very similar and fundamentally different from India and most of the world, in fact, where in the U.S. we are kind of really pushed or forced to explore and take a kind of buffet of general education courses across different areas, different disciplines. And we only take about 30 to 40% of the courses in year 1 and 2 in our major. So we really don't focus until year 3 and 4 on our program of study, on our majors, whereas in much of the world, you enter year 1 concentrating on one subject, and then if you change your mind, you rewind and start again. Where in the U.S., I changed majors 3 times in the first 2 years, and that's not unusual at all. In fact, it's somewhat encouraged to explore and try different things.
They have options of experimenting, like on their what actually they're liking or which course or program would be suited best for them.
Exactly. I mean, it's connected to the curiosity and interest of the student. And in the U.S., we don't believe that students can really know what they want to study, much less what they want to do in terms of career when they're 17, 16 years old. But that's also similar to our high school system. The high school system doesn't narrow down in year 12, for example. It stays broad throughout the whole system. And even career counseling doesn't come into play until the end of university. So it's really delayed in every respect. So it's really about fostering that exploration to find the best fit and so forth. So.
Great, good. So if we talk about your College of Contra Costa, so you have 3 campuses, right? All are in California.
That's correct.
So Contra Costa College or Diablo Valley College and Los Mendos College, right? Sort of things.
That's right.
So just tell us about these colleges, how actually they are located, and if anyone would like to go to Diablo Valley College, or which program they should be choosing, or how they can segregate the colleges and programs accordingly.
Right. So first of all, we're part of a district, and I don't want to get stuck in the word district, but just to help unpack a little bit, a lot of community colleges in California, the majority are actually parts of a district.
Okay.
And what that means is basically a family.
Okay.
And several points I think are worth mentioning. Number one is the academic calendar at 3 colleges is the same.
Okay.
Number two, the admission requirements for international students would be the same. It's also the same application. The fee structure, the tuition is also the same at the 3. But we also say that our 3 colleges are like 3 flavors of ice cream. It's like chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry ice cream because there are different characteristics,
Right.
demographics,
Okay.
size, majors, etc. At the colleges. So one of our colleges, Contra Costa College, would be our smallest college in terms of full-time enrollment. But it is also the closest to the Bay Area, to the water.
Okay.
But it's also one of our most diverse college campuses, and our second largest in terms of international enrollment. We have about 160 international students from around the world.
Okay.
Our largest college, Diablo Valley College, is and also Contra Costa College is a little bit more urban environment, being closer to the Bay Area
Okay,
and then
right.
the cities.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Diablo Valley College is suburban/residential. It is our largest college. Full-time enrollment is about 6,500 students, but
Oh.
part-time is over 20,000.
Great.
And the international student enrollment is about 550, with students from nearly 60 countries.
Okay.
So that's our largest college. And then medium size is Los Medanos College, which is farthest east. Each college is approximately 15 to 20 minutes by car from
Okay.
each other.
Okay.
Los Medanos College is our medium-sized college, but it's our baby in terms of international enrollment. So they're really kind of just starting up an international student program.
Right.
And they have right now just above 25 international students.
Okay.
But they offer a lot of the same programs, but also some different programs. So for example, Diablo Valley College is the only one that has architecture as a major, for example.
Okay. Perfect. How they are located? Like how far they are from the main cities, like LA
Yeah, so
or
we call this
Sacramento?
the San Francisco East Bay Area. So we're
Okay.
in the San Francisco Bay Area,
Yeah.
more specifically the East Bay Area. So they're all located, well, Diablo Valley College and Contra Costa College are about 45 minutes to 1 hour, so 45 kilometers or so
Okay.
from downtown San Francisco. Los Medanos College is about 70 kilometers away. But what's nice about the location is while we have convenient access through the public transportation system called BART, which is like a train and subway system, each student on the campus can take a bus from within inside that campus to the train and subway system
Okay.
and catch
Right.
that to downtown San Francisco, to the international airport. They have that access, but what's really nice is our colleges are in a little bit calmer, quieter, and less expensive environment. So the cost of living is less where we are. So
You mentioned that there are students from 60 countries. So the students who actually are looking for your colleges,
Right.
like they would have some very great diversity available over there, right? Their peer group is something. One is from China, one is from India, one is from Korea, one is from Indonesia, sort of things. I guess they would have find that sort of peer group over there, right?
right, and this may be something we talk about later, but what's really surprised me when I came to our colleges 10 years ago was how heavily involved and engaged international students are on campus. I had the misconception that community college students would just go from their apartment or their home
Okay.
to a building on campus and go home again after class. But number one, our campuses are really like university-sized campuses. A campus tour at DVC, Diablo Valley College, is about 1 hour.
Oh.
And we have football stadium and Olympic-sized pools and athletic sports center facilities and all that. But the students are heavily involved in an array of student clubs and working on campus as well. And I think that lends itself to
Perfectly,
networking and
definitely. I would
connecting
come
with
on
others,
those things
with
also.
other international students and also with American students. So the international students really enrich the campuses for everybody.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So I'll have some questions for you also, Isha. Like community college system is something sometimes students or parents may not be knowing everything about that. So they have some sort of myth or some sort of misconceptions or misunderstanding regarding that. So what sort of misunderstanding that you would like to you already have heard from students and parents, and how you would help them to remove that?
Yeah. So yeah, there are, you're right. There are a lot of myths and misunderstandings in not only India, I'm pretty sure it's like a lot of other places as well. Well, the first one would be low cost equal to like, low quality of education, which is so not true. We will help you break those myths today
Right.
with this
Sure.
podcast. But the second one would be, that, oh, you can't transfer from a 2-year community college to a university. And related to that is that maybe the student will be stuck at a community college. Like that's most of the parents think that,
Nice.
oh, it's not 2 years. It can take you forever to transfer, but that's not really true. We will share some data with you, which might be mind blowing for the audience today. And then I think the third one, which is the most important, is the visa issuance. That's always comes my way. It never stops coming. But I feel like, if I always tell my students, if you have the right vision and a right story, there is no backing on like the visa. You will get through. But definitely it needs to be thought through. You need to prep for it. It's not something you just walk in to the visa interview and you don't have any idea where you're applying or what your I-20 says. So that's something that we can reflect on as we go further. But yeah, those are the top 3 misunderstandings. I feel India definitely has that. So yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing.
Can I add to the top
Yeah, please,
3? I
please,
agree
yeah.
with your top 3. I'll add 4 and 5.
Sure.
Yes, please.
So actually, it's related to the cost misconception that it's less expensive, so the quality is lower. So it's kind of similarly to that is the realization that the admission requirements
Right.
are less
Exactly.
strict than they are to a
Yes.
4-year university. So the misconception is that what kind of students are you admitting
Yeah.
into the college? Well, you're not looking at the marks, the percentages of performance in a high school, for example. You're not looking at essay, you're not asking for a standardized test. And as Isha shared, we have boatloads of data to dispel that misconception. And then a fifth one, I sort of touched on it with regard to the size of our campuses, but there's a misconception about the facilities on the campus, that a community college is maybe just a building or kind of a rundown area, that doesn't have the proper infrastructure,
Yes.
such as you see in a movie about a really famous university. So we have campus visits from all over the world throughout the year, people visiting from all over the world, prospective students and their families, and they're really blown away. They're really shocked by how big the campuses are,
Right.
the facilities, how nice things are. It really strikes them. And they've also visited universities, and they tell us that there's really no difference.
Yes, that's true. Like we all also have been telling our students that before actually getting into a full-fledged degree program in big university, campus is so big, thousands of students studying over there, you should not be lost in between that, right? You should have some sort of prior experience of mixing with culture, mixing with curriculum sort of things, knowing about what sort of challenges. You should be ready for all those challenges whenever you are in a full-fledged university. So you should have that. You should start from, as you already mentioned, then 45% of Americans really start their journey from community colleges.
Right.
The similar sort of, I guess, that's something very important.
And
Good
number
point.
6 just came to mind, if I can share number
Yeah,
6.
yeah, please.
That is, there is also the kind of a misunderstanding about the classmates of international students in the classroom. And I think frankly, it seems to be some concern that students from India or elsewhere are going to have classes with a lot of non-traditional older students that are in their 30s and 40s, and they are not like-minded in terms of their goals to obtain a bachelor's degree.
Right.
But the reality is that international students have classes with other full-time, like-minded American students
Right.
who are also aiming to get a bachelor's degree,
Yes, yes.
in many cases from the University of California. most of the American students we have are from California, so therefore they're looking to stay in the state. But they have really very similar goals of getting to university. And so that's something else that I wanted to mention that's not often covered.
It's a very good point that I would be telling to my team also that whenever you are going to counsel any students for community college, you should be adding all these things in your counseling points.
Right.
Really great. So any sort of feedback that you have received from any of your recent student who has joined your colleges or community colleges in there, especially from India?
Well, it's not a feedback. I can say that I assisted that student throughout his journey, from application to hearing, where is he coming from and all that. So I can share that. It could be like a story that's going to start. Yet can't say, where the success comes in. But for now, I think the student came in with 4 years of gap after high school. And he was a chef at, he was a restaurant owner, but he was a chef himself. So he definitely had that gap between his education. Could be financial reasons that he went through, to that route, worked. And after that, he wanted to pursue his education at, maybe, just abroad. And then when he came in touch with me and we spoke about community colleges, I think that's where I told him that this can open lots of doors, but not just, being in culinary arts or anything. That's the beauty of community colleges, where you can do two things at the same time, even if it's two majors or a certificate with a major. So I think that aspect kind of like opened doors, and, he started thinking more wider. And post that, I think he applied, and he's already gone for the fall 2025 to Contra Costa College, starting to pursue the degree culinary arts. And I was, in the visa prep and everything, that kind of also, followed through. But like I said, because he had his vision very sure that he's going to come back to India and pursue his restaurant ownership and make it bigger. I think from that aspect, his journey was like kind of set to, whether to the visa officer or to anybody else, that what he wants to do in life. So his goal was very much out there, and he was very sure of what he wants to do. Again, it gives you a very good feeling, very fulfilling. You feel kind of proud that, you made a case happen, and it's for the right cause. So
that's really great that you have already shared one answer of my next question.
Success
story of any success story of one of your students, sort of things.
Sure.
Usually, like whenever students is targeting and going to abroad, especially USA, they definitely look at their pocket also, like how much that they are going to spend, how much they are going to make a budget accordingly. So community college is helping, I guess, tremendously for this, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Great. So next I would be asking about the things which is very important for a student perspective, because they would like to know about the student journey and your special program, which is known as ITAP, right? How ITAP can help them, and how they can start their journey, like sort of things in community college. So Steve, if you can just tell us about your ITAP program, like how it works actually.
So ITAP stands for International Transfer Academic Program. It is actually a long time in the making in terms of internal discussions. So we've had a series of discussions with leadership at Delaware Valley College and International Student Office staff. It was not launched coincidentally. It was launched the same week that the Trump administration just closed the visa interviews globally. That wasn't our plan, but it worked out well. But really, I think that the bigger point really is that, we're talking about community colleges are the most accessible entryway to higher education in the U.S.
Yes.
And that was something to continue with ITAP, but just extend that outside of the United States. So what it is a 1 + 1 + 2. The first one would be students can study online from their countries. The second one is 1 year in person at Delaware Valley College. And then the two, just like 2 + 2, would be in year 3 and 4 at a 4-year college or university.
Right.
So a lot of discussion around this. We ultimately settled on a program that is open to, it's open to students from anywhere in the world. It's not connected with any partnership high schools or anything like that.
Okay.
So students are eligible to start while they're finishing high school in their country, or if they want to wait till after they're done, they can complete up to 1 year of credits, so almost 30 units or 30 credits.
Right.
1 year of credits. But at the same time, if they're really busy with their work in high school and they're only able to take 6 or 12 credits, that's perfectly fine. They have that fewer credits to take when they're there. So it's really about, one of the points is saving time and money. It's getting a head start. They're actually building a track record, academic record of performance, of success with us and that evidence. And of course, there's no guarantee, but we think that this evidence of successful performance in our classes, when they show that to go for a visa, will be helpful.
Okay.
And the other a major point is that we do not distinguish between online and in-person courses on the transcript.
Right.
So there is no indication that the course is online. And second to that, every college level course at our colleges transfers to the university, to the public system in California, university system.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no concern about courses transferring or not because they're online. There's nothing lesser to them. Another benefit too is they're going to, on the networking point, hopefully start feeling an affinity, a connection to classmates, to the college, to the teacher early on, before they go for a visa, because this is also open to U.S. students. So these are regular courses that are not closed for international students, that are open to all of our students. Right. So international students will actually start taking courses with American students online. Having said all that, it is a program, and that means there is some intentional wraparound support designed, like some tutoring and counseling designed to help the international students as well, because going from high school to higher education in the U.S. is a major change for American students, not to mention for international students. And then the online element might be a bit unknown to them. And we're also connecting with our faculty to help, to make sure that they're kind of trained in terms of expectations of the classroom dynamics as well. So we're excited. The program is just launched on Monday. Classes started on Monday, so we have our first group. It actually worked out pretty well time-wise in the sense, in a way, unfortunately, we had so many students that had been admitted and issued I-20s, but they were unable to not only not obtain a visa, but they couldn't get an appointment.
Yes.
And so one of the benefits was, instead of deferring, a lot of them have chosen to defer their enrollment, which means just not enroll in fall, which is this week, but enroll in January, our spring term.
Yes.
But those that chose not to defer till then have actually started in the ITAP program this week. I have to look at the numbers. I've been in India, so my attention's been a little bit split, but we have a decent kind of number starting out in the ITAP program. So we're really excited about it. We look forward to getting, on the feedback point, a lot of feedback from students and teachers as well, and our academic counselors that are part of this as well. So it's an exciting program, and we hope that it's just kind of a different start in terms of their journey to a bachelor's degree in the U.S.
So according to you, if a student can join this ITAP program in their high school also?
That is correct.
Right.
That is correct. We're looking really for students that are going to be like 16 and above, so that when they come to us, that is because students have to be 16 years old, and if they're under 18, they have to be at least 16 and a high school graduates when they come to us in person. So they need to be at least 16, but I would say kind of a sweet spot target would be someone in their final year of high school that wants to start getting a head start, kind of dip their toes in the water and get a taste of it. And honestly, another kind of not mentioned purpose of this is we think this can also help that student in country tell his or her friends about our college. So it's also kind of a branding in a way.
Obviously. So this is offered in only one campus, right?
That's correct. Right now, there's some discussion internally about extending it, but we don't want to build this fast in a rush and open the floodgate, so to speak. We want to start slow and careful.
Slowly and gradually,
and
like-
build a really, mention the word quality, a
Yeah.
high quality
Yes.
program. So it's accessible, high quality path to the four-year university. So we're starting out kind of in a small sense, kind of a focused sense. And we also want to build in, the feedback throughout. So there's kind of continual assessment
Okay.
and improvement of the program. So, but we're really excited about it. I know some other peer institutions have done somewhat similar programs, but also some differences. So I would also like to give a shout out to them in their time, because we had a lot of phone calls and meetings with other colleges as well to kind of hear their experience, and they were very generous of sharing and telling us what they kind of lessons learned.
Right.
So we're doing it a different way, a different model. So we're excited about it.
This is very important for school-going students also who are in 12th standard right now.
Right.
If they would like to go for this program, they can get some credits earned in 12th standard, maybe 6 or 10 or 12 credits.
Right.
And the next year, then they can earn rest of the credits. And will these credits be used for transfer program to university also, or only in community colleges?
No, exactly. So these are identical to our in-person courses. So therefore, just as with all of our courses that are college level, they transfer 100% to the University of California system. Every state in the United States is different, and private universities are different. But there's no distinction, again, on the transcript, there's no distinction that these are online or in person. They're just listed as courses in our catalog.
But later getting associate degree, right? Not
Exactly.
before that. Like in first year, they have joined ITAP program online. They have got their 30 credits, right? And
Those 30 credits, if a bachelor's degree typically is 120 credits,
right,
those 30 credits are 25%
25%.
of the bachelor's degree. So
Okay,
they're-
they can now get transfer into your college in person.
Yes.
Okay, if they get visa,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Or otherwise they have option to transfer in university also, right? Directly, isn't it?
So great question. They theoretically they could. That's
Okay.
correct. They could.
Okay.
It's a little complicated in terms of from the university side, who is categorized in the admissions process as a transfer
Okay.
versus what we call a first year or freshman student. Universities have a different kind of watermark, or in terms of the number of credits or units required to be considered a transfer student. Some of them have to have at least 24, some of them more than that. So, but yes, you're correct in that.
Okay.
But generally, it would be more advisable to transfer into year 3. Part of the reason for that too is it's a way to do the year in person.
Right.
And this is maybe part of a conversation later, but a huge incentive for doing the 2+2 is that
Right.
there are many transfer scholarships from community colleges throughout the U.S. to universities throughout the U.S. for
Okay.
students going into year 3.
Okay. As far as I know, that whenever students are going to community colleges and earning associate degree in first 2 years, they would have option to get OPT also for 1 year, right? So through this ITAP program also, is it offered to students? Is it valid for getting OPT for 1 year?
Yes, so there is zero difference in terms
Zero
of
difference,
OPT.
okay.
It's as if the students weren't doing this online. They just have 30 credits. They've been enrolled for a year. So for the OPT for community college students, they would do that after they complete their associate degree.
Right.
So they may not decide to complete their associate degree. They could also transfer out without completing it.
Right.
But if they do, yes, they can do the 1+1.
Right.
Get their degree and then work off campus full time for up to 1 year,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay, that's great. And so what kind of support that do international students get whenever they arrive first in your campus in USA?
So there is an array of support. I mean, number one, we have student support called Global Mentor Programs.
Okay.
And that's across our colleges now. So essentially every admitted student, well, every new student that enrolls is matched with a returning student. In most cases, that's a returning international student, or it could be an American student as well. And that mentor, that returning student is going to mentor the mentee, the new student,
Right.
for a semester. So it's, some people call it a buddy program, but it's really about kind of a hand holding in terms of the academic adjustment and so forth. And also because we're such a prominent district in terms of transferring students to four-year college universities, a lot of this mentoring is the returning students talking to the new students about kind of what they need to do or some tips to build this kind of successful resume, if you will, at our colleges with regard to engagement on-campus employment, courses, etc. So they have that from students. There's also, what surprised me the most about working at a community college, our colleges, is the informal culture among students to help each other. It's like a herd mentality almost, to help each other engage. So it's not just one mentor, but it's a collective. It's really amazing. They're immediately part of a family. They're welcomed into a family right away. That's probably the thing that has struck me the most from that, and it's really beautiful to see. There's also dedicated support from college offices. So community colleges are not part of the U.S. News World Report rankings or the QS World Rankings, etc. A major reason is we do not produce research. Our faculty only teach. Our ranking, or really our notoriety, our reputation, comes from student success. And student success is, one barometer of that is the transfer. So, but while students are there the first semester, right from day one, there is dedicated, the student offices, staff working to help students be successful. So to that end, we have, every campus has an international student office. So actually, once we issue the I-20 to a new student, the communication is handed over to the international student office. They get in touch with the student, and they literally guide them from afar on next steps, paying the CVS 901 fee, applying for the visa, next steps. There are virtual workshops throughout the year for the new group coming in, which is also a nice opportunity for them to kind of build a little bit of community with one another. There is counseling that happens virtually as well. There's help in terms of kind of priority pre-registering for courses, Q&As. And then once they're on campus, the international office will help with everything from, there's an orientation when they arrive for all new international students. That includes speakers from across the campus as the presidents talk to the students to welcome them, which I think is essentially a really important message that they are important. Different faculty and staff from the different departments on the campus speak, whether it's from the security police center to, we have a health insurance program as well, to academic deans. So they get that orientation, that initial orientation. Then they have kind of what we call ongoing orientations, like workshops on how do I get a job on campus? Can I work on campus, off-campus work, changing major, this types of thing. So they have those support from the international office. The international office also helps everything with immigration advising. So students returning home during a winter or summer break. I-20, if they change the I-20 is a government form that's basically a mirror of the student. So the student changes the major, the I-20 has to update as well. So the office kind of makes sure students are maintaining their status, complying with F1 visa regulations as well. And on top of that, we have down the road academic counseling. So students are required every semester to do a student education plan. And also to consult one-on-one with an academic counselor. And we have counselors that are really specialize in international students. And so they sit down one-on-one with a counselor, and that counselor, I'm going to use the holding hand metaphor again, is really holding that student's hand and helping them understand, like, what courses can I take, should I take, what do I have to take, what major is this, what if I change my major to this, but I want to transfer here in California, or I want to go to University of New York or Texas or whatever. They really are there to guide students through that. So it's a map of course 1 to the last course with our college of everything
Okay.
they're going to take. They have that hand-holding throughout. So the students cannot get lost or go off track unless they
Right.
don't listen to the counselor.
Right.
So we have that, and then later on there's academic tutoring as well in a
Okay.
variety of subjects. A lot of our international students, in fact, become tutors, which is a paid job on campus for newer students. And then also we have transfer centers and career centers. So the transfer centers, in addition to kind of fostering the connections with the four-year college universities that are on our campus throughout the year, they help students understand kind of the calendar of application deadlines to different types of universities. We'll talk about this maybe later, but California has a number of transfer guarantees, how students can apply for that. They literally do workshops with students on applying to these different types of programs. They help students with personal statements.
Okay.
The Career Center likewise can foster some employer connections, as well as helping students with a resume, which is in the US is different
Right.
than in other countries. And what do you put on the resume? How do you organize a resume?
Exactly.
So there's kind of this A to Z, from the first global mentor contact with one student to a bunch of students to offices. That's just part of the spectrum of support. And that's what we really pride ourselves on. And that's the gratification, is seeing the students come in, get admitted, come there and transfer out and really kind of fulfill their dream of going on to a university. And we find what surprised me too is the students really develop a strong affinity connection to the college as kind of their birthplace, if you will, in the U.S. in terms of higher education, and they really feel quite passionate about their connection with our colleges.
Great. Good to see that you have this great support that you are providing to students who are actually coming first time to USA.
Right.
Right. This is a very new land for them, and new culture, new people are there, new curriculum they would be studying over there.
And if I could add one more thing, I know it spills over into different arenas, but because of our smaller class size,
Yes.
there is also, the professors are very accessible. And so not only in the classroom, there's a lot of opportunity to interact with teachers. Teachers will definitely know students' names, and vice versa. There would be a lot of comfort there. But
Yeah.
they held office hours, and they're really approachable in the office hours. And it's frankly easier when there are fewer students in the classroom. So I didn't want to overlook the faculty support
Right.
in terms of the academic side as well, but that's also something that's throughout. And one more thing connected to that is academic programs are not impacted at community colleges, meaning that there isn't a shortage of seats.
Yes.
So that supply-demand issue does become challenging at a university where in a biology program, maybe there are 300 students in a first-year biology class, and
Right.
only 20 are going to be continuing as majors, so most of them are going to be, we call it weed-out
Right.
courses. Where in community college, the faculty encourages students to keep trying to learning to find something that they like that resonates with that subject, with that area, because they're not impacted. There's no seat limitation.
Okay.
So that's a very different kind of element of the experience in year 1 and 2 for our students. So.
That's really great. And I guess the things that you have shared here, that would really help students also as well. But the ultimate goal of applying to community colleges is to get admission in university, right? So would like to know about your transfer programs. Like you have something like that, guaranteed transfer programs also as well. So how actually 2 years community college degree would lead to 4 years bachelor's program in top universities in USA, sort of things?
So, well, as I mentioned at the very beginning, 45% of American students who
Right.
get a bachelor's degree start at community colleges. So the whole U.S. system, and also because community colleges are like year 1 and 2 of university, and if you think of higher education as a pyramid where the base is really broad and wide, and the higher you go, the more focus you get,
Yes.
generally speaking, those pieces of the puzzle fit together. The community college serves as kind of the foundation to focusing on your major year 3 and 4. So that's set up nationwide. Every state, higher education is decentralized quite a bit in the U.S., so every state has a different system.
Yes. Yes.
So for California community colleges in general, and some of these agreements are not unique to us. It's California community colleges. Some are unique to us. in our colleges specifically, every one of our current 750 international students aims to get a bachelor's degree.
Right.
And how do they get there? So, number one, 80 to 85% of our students that transfer every year, international students, typically we're looking at around 150 to 200 international students transferring to four-year colleges and universities every year.
Okay.
And small plug, our average GPA for all of these students the past 4 years has been 3.74
Great.
average.
Really?
So they're looking at California. About 80% of our students stay in California.
Okay.
About 60% of them go to the UC, University of California system. So in California, we have 23 California state universities.
Yes.
And there are 10 UCs, but there are 9 UCs that are undergraduate. So there are 32 public universities.
In all campuses, you send a student like Berkeley, Davis, Irvine.
We will touch on that momentarily. Yes, we do. So out of those 32 universities, 29 have some type of a transfer guarantee.
Okay.
There are 3 that do not have a transfer guarantee. UC San Diego, University of California, San Diego, UCLA, and UC Berkeley.
Okay.
I'll come back to that in a second. So I'll take the UC system as a transfer admission guarantee. So there's 6 UC campuses that have a transfer admission guarantee.
Okay.
We call TAG, T-A-G.
Okay.
TAG.
Right.
And basically TAG is quite black and white. So after students have completed 30 units or credits with us in September and only September, so if they start in August like this week and they finish 30 credits by next September,
Right.
in September, they can choose one of the TAG campuses. So UC Davis, UC Santa Cruz, UC Irvine, etc. They can choose one of those campuses to use their transfer admission guarantee ticket, if you will.
Okay.
And that basically is applying a year in advance. It's like making a reservation at a restaurant a year early. So they apply it a year in advance. The general requirement, the minimum is they have to have at least a 3.0 GPA. In most cases, it's 3.2 or higher.
Okay.
And finish 30 units. But it's black and white. If students have that 3.2 and 30 units, they know they're getting admitted. So
Right.
the university will admit them conditionally.
Okay.
I think it's in October.
Okay.
And they have that kind of in their pocket as they know that they have a seat.
Okay.
They can't go to the beach for a year and sunbathe. They have to stay in school and maintain that GPA above that 3.2 watermark and finish their 60 units with us. If they do that, they have a seat guaranteed.
Okay.
So that's something almost not as a backup plan necessarily,
Right.
but it's really reassuring to know they have that. So they can also apply to all of the other UCs as well. They just have that one guaranteed ticket, but they can apply to as many programs as they want. They can apply to a California State University. We have students applying to private colleges and universities in California as well. But what I think is most reassuring for parents in India to know is their son or daughter comes to attend one of our colleges and he or she is an average to really good student. They're going to have doors opened, guaranteed as options.
Right.
To the misconception earlier, it is not a dead end at all. To the contrary, there are numerous opportunities. On top of that, there are numerous institutions outside California that offer transfer scholarships for international students who either complete 60 units or obtain an associate degree from a community college.
Okay.
And they're based literally, it's black and white on a GPA. 3.25 GPA, 60 units, this much money, etc. They're in their scholarships for that.
Right. Right. Great.
So that's something that's not that known, and those scholarships are not for first year. So the whole system nationwide is really set up in this regard.
Yes. Yes.
Going back to the transfer guarantee, so our top 3 transfer institutions, not every single year, but I think last year for international students were the 3 UC campuses that do not have a transfer guarantee.
Okay.
So UC Berkeley, UCLA, and San Diego.
Okay.
So what does that tell you? The quality of our applicants is extremely high.
Right.
So one of our colleges, Diablo Valley College, is the #1 transfer institution for international students in the United States
Okay.
from community college to UC Berkeley.
Great.
So since 2010, over 1,300 international students have not just been admitted, but enrolled at UC Berkeley. So that's 80 something per year, I think, if you look at it. The average acceptance rate over that span is just under 40%.
Okay.
So
Quite
and if you
competitive.
look last year, UC Berkeley's acceptance rate for international freshmen, so from high schools around the world, was 3%. So they are statistically about 13 times more likely to be admitted as a transfer student through us than they are from high school in India. But we also transfer about 15 to 20% every year of our students go outside California, not just to the U.S., but also other countries. We've had University of Toronto in Canada.
Okay.
We actually have a transfer agreement with University of Westminster in London. We have our first student that is enrolled there last year. And then we transfer to really different types of institutions around the U.S. that are, a lot of them are top 100 universities. Ivy League, we have Columbia, I think 3 of the past 5 years we've had Columbia, Johns Hopkins. Engineering is really popular with us, so Georgia Tech, Purdue, pretty much every year. We had MIT 1 year, but University of Miami, Oregon, Arizona, University of Washington, everywhere, really. And we also have been forming transfer guarantees for international students to some select institutions. So for us, we have an IIT also in the United States, which is the Illinois Institute of Technology in Chicago.
Yes.
We recently formed a transfer guarantee with them for international students, and we have our first international student enrolling there this fall, and I think her scholarship total was $42,000. So she got a guaranteed transfer plus a scholarship from one of our colleges. So those are just, I wanted to spotlight some of those opportunities for our students to go again. But again, the central message is, what I think is a reassuring one for parents is, their son or daughter comes to our colleges, they're successful in the classroom, they perform really well, and they are involved on campus and these other kind of extracurricular activities, which is a big part of transfer as well. They're going to have doors open, guaranteed.
How do they choose campus, which campus they should be going and attending their third year and fourth year sort of things? Would your
this goes back to class size, to the offices supporting the students. It's the relationships they form on our campus, and it's the conversations they have. There was a student, a graduate, he's from Japan. He got accepted to UC Berkeley, and he turned it down. He went to San Francisco State University, which in terms of rankings doesn't compare to Berkeley, but it was because of his relationship with a professor in I think it was a communication and broadcasting program, and the professor recommending him to research this department at San Francisco State. He chose that. So hats off to him, because he looked for best fit. He didn't just look at the university name and the ranking, but he understood that I'm going to be in year 3 at that program. I'm going to be in that department pretty much working exclusively or interacting exclusively with those professors, and that's going to be my home. So that kind of fit, that's the next level. So I think that's really important. Students are really encouraged to ask questions, really encouraged to find that best fit. And those touch points throughout, from other students to the counselors, to one-on-one counseling, to the international office, to the transfer center, for example, all those touch points make a huge difference. And they have ample opportunities from day one to start meeting with 4-year college universities, because UC Berkeley is on our campus every 2 weeks, I think. I mean, they're always on. We have transfer fairs as well, so they have a chance to ask questions and to find out more. And we have some students play sports. They play sports with us on teams, and they go to a Division I, Division II school, or even directly to professional league baseball, for example, to play. So there are kind of paths for different interests and different kind of personalities and what they're looking for. Yeah.
Okay, perfect, great. So now we have got to know about your transfer program, ITAP program, and about the community college system also as well. But one thing is that always coming in my mind, and definitely my students and parents also are having that sort of curiosity to know. Like a lot of news are coming, like as since Trump administration back in the system, like every day some news is coming from the podium of the White House, right? So a lot of news are coming. Like, how do you think that, what would be the, like, how international students should be looking those news, and how, what sort of things are going to be changed in upcoming years? Yeah, please.
So my initial kind of short answer to this is I do not think it's going to impact the experience of a student on our
Okay.
campus at
Okay.
all.
Okay.
That's a short answer.
Okay.
Looking at kind of the long-term view and also kind of historical, I mean, I've seen cycles throughout going back to before 9/11 in the late 1990s with different administrations
Yes.
and different changes in policies from one administration to the next, etc. So I think we need to recognize that there are cycles to this in the U.S., but also globally. These are not just trends
Yes.
within the U.S., but there are global
Globally,
geopolitical
yes.
currents
Yes. Yes.
moving around the world, and so we're seeing policy shifts in Canada and
Yes.
Australia, for example.
Yes.
Trends in some places toward more nationalistic kind of outlooks. Some countries are putting caps on the number of international students can enroll, in part because their seats in the university are, in terms of percentage, are way more. They have a lot more international students in seats, maybe 30%, 25%, whereas the U.S. is 6% international. But we see these global currents, and we see the changes in visa issuance policies, post-study work rights,
Right.
and caps in terms of how many students get admitted. Also, more stringent exams on trying to enter a country to determine whether students are genuine or not
Right.
genuine. So this is global. I think it's also important to realize that a lot of what is seen or read in media is largely the tip of the iceberg in terms of the layers. There's a lot of depth to what's going on, and there are complex layers.
Right.
So one point to also mention is that nationally in the U.S., there is a ton of advocacy taking place among faculty, staff, administrators from U.S. faculty and administrators mainly from U.S. universities, specifically in the international education realm, with coalitions with professional associations such as NAFSA advocating to the politicians on both sides of the political spectrum about the importance of international students and scholars in the United States.
Right.
Part of that is reminding them that international students contribute $44 billion to the U.S. economy,
Yes.
and about 25% of that is California
Also.
every year. Other major point, I touched on it earlier, but higher education in the U.S. is highly decentralized.
Yes.
And on top of that, every state is very different in terms of the political leaning.
Yes.
So California is a countryside state in some respects. It is the number 4 economy in the world if you count it as a country.
Yes.
It's a big place, a lot happening. And then Northern California specifically leans heavily blue or Democrat, i.e. not in favor of Trump.
Right.
And so that's also important to recognize. In California as well, all public employees have, for job interviews and also for training. I had an email this week reminding me about a diversity training I have in September
Okay.
that we're required to do. So it's diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging.
Okay.
And that speaks to the core of kind of the outlook, the perspective of staff, faculty, administrators at community colleges in California and public universities as well, that we're here to welcome students from all backgrounds, diverse backgrounds, whether they're diverse American backgrounds or outside the U.S. And we're here to support them and help them be successful. That we're required to do that as part of our training, as part of our orientation.
Right.
That's not true in other states where the politics really seep down into
Yes. Yes.
higher education. So it is still a very welcoming place. And if we kind of zero in further, San Francisco Bay Area, I mean, you're talking about either the or the second most diverse area in the United States in terms of demographics. I mean, it really is. I saw a statistic, I can't remember it, so I don't want to say it on the podcast, but I saw a statistic about the percentage of people living in the Bay Area that were not born in the United States. I mean, it shocked me. I want to say it was above 40% or something like that.
Okay.
It really shocked me.
Great.
And so, and the other thing too, students will find it's not hard to find a market, restaurants, etc., shopping markets, a supermarket, a food store, where they can find products from their country and that sort of thing. It's very, very, prominent and welcoming in California. So
Absolutely, yes.
I think those are layers to all of this. Having said that, there is honestly some frustration in terms of
Yes.
sudden changes or shifts, like the visa interview windows being kind of frozen or the social media vetting. But even some of the language being used, like extreme vetting, that's not new. That started in the phrase was from 2016.
Yes.
So it's not something new.
Yes.
Sometimes we forget that. So I think it's important to kind of maintain a long view, kind of a steady course.
Yes.
And, we're from our colleges and so many other of my peers where nothing has changed. In fact, I would argue that I've never seen a stronger commitment to international education, at our colleges at least, because all of this has not forced us, but it's really sparked us to have conversations with senior leadership. The chancellor, presidents, vice presidents are talking about DSO, which is a designated school official, and ICE and all this stuff, and how does this impact us? How does this impact our American students?
Right.
This kind of fear that it sparked in a way, or uncertainty.
Yes,
I think
yes.
uncertainty is probably the best word.
Yes, exactly.
But I really think people are kind of digging in terms of really focusing the energy of supporting students like I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And so that I think is a real positive, and we are talking about some strategic initiatives with respect to international education, international students, for really the first time at our highest levels now, going forward. So how can we kind of ensure continuity for students and really protect students? And that's something we're not doing it for branding or advertising, or we're doing it because we genuinely care and really want to make sure that students know that they're still welcome. Nothing has changed in terms of their ability to work on campus, to work off campus. Nothing has changed. In fact, we've actually enhanced support for international students. So I think the negative kind of smoke that is out there,
exactly.
if we really kind of drill down and get to beneath the surface, the large part of the iceberg, there's actually a lot of positive things happening. So.
Yeah, great. So Isha, we would like to know your perspective also. The students who actually are worried about their visa right now, they applied and they've got I-20, they're not getting their appointment from visa embassy sort of things. So what would you advise to them in this time period?
Short answer again, ITAP. Go for the ITAP program. Start online.
I really get that
Yeah,
the time of launching ITAP is something is really great.
It's
Good time.
It's been
Good time.
great. I mean,
It
it's
is.
been in our
Yeah.
favor.
Yeah.
Students were very welcoming. We visited the schools, like Stephen
Yeah.
mentioned earlier. And when we spoke about ITAP, to just some students interacting with us, and they were like, "Wow, can we do it when we are in our 12th standard? Is that really true?"
Yeah.
And even talking to the counselors, they were like, "Oh, wow, students can do it." And it's not like they have to do the 30 credits. There could be like 6 months of study, and then they can make their way. So it's something that they can start from here, which is, at least save your time there.
Right.
And you're not only saving your time, but you're also saving your health insurance. You're saving,
Exactly.
the food, the
travel.
the medical, and,
Travel cost
even the
also.
housing,
Yeah.
all of that. So why not start here and then kind of in the second year, go to Diablo Valley College straight away, start your second year, and then you're already in the process of transferring,
Right.
within no time. So I think the approach they just need to broaden their horizon, that yes, they can start from here firstly, and also the approach needs to kind of be like, yes, I think I can do it. Visa is not something that can, change my vision, or, you can't just stop chasing your dream because
Right,
of something which has come through now, It always was there, really. I also believe, like, even when I was going for visa, just from a personal experience, I mean, I've been through the whole process, F1, H1B, and I've been in a room with, for H1B, I've had like a lot of questions, because I was in marketing PR, and, like, what is an Indian person doing for marketing and PR there? It's things like that. But, it's just about having your answers right. Like, if you know what you're there for, you will be able to answer right.
Yes.
But if there's something behind you're trying to hide, that's not okay,
That would not
So,
help the student.
right.
Definitely.
So if you have that right, I don't think there's any stopping. Yeah.
Great. So now we have got to know about community colleges, ITAP, transfer programs, and a lot of benefit that you have shared, that whenever they are in the campus, what sort of support that they are getting from your department, sort of things. So now would like to know about applications process and the cost which is involved into this.
Sure.
So Isha, I would like to just share the entire process.
Definitely.
And how student can apply,
Okay.
what sort of tests are required, and any sort of profile that you consider most right at the time of considering reviewing their application, sort of things. Please share.
Sure. So firstly, we have one website for our 3 community colleges, like Stephen mentioned. And it's basically their bookmarked website for all the colleges. When they need to apply, they just need to go on the admissions tab, and under that, they can go for apply now, create their profile with a username and password. The system literally takes 10 minutes to file their application. They can upload all their documents. And when I talk about documents, I'm pretty much saying their high school diploma. And there is no percentage. There is no like a GPA we are looking for.
Okay.
We require their English proficiency from students who are not coming from English medium school. If it's an international school, the medium of instruction was in English, so we will accept that. We don't require the test.
Okay.
The third thing would be their passport, of course, and then the bank letter, and of course the application itself. So if a student has everything, they can pretty much apply right away. And just to add to that, our turnaround time for the offer letter is literally within 24 hours, if I have to put it that way, if there wasn't time zone difference.
Right.
But yeah, you can get it in 2 days pretty much. It's going to be, the offer letter is going to be right there, and the I-20 right after. So I think for Indian students, I think that's always the worry, like what kind of profile, that we are looking for. But to tell you the truth, most of the community colleges, we accept, it's 100% guaranteed that you will get through to a community college. But of course, they have to work on their profile when they come to a community college. While they're exploring their subjects and everything, they need to work on their profile, and that's when the whole student clubs and the government association, all that comes into play, that, how active you are. So it's kind of like a high school in a way. It builds you, and it tells you that, okay, you get out of your comfort zone, get to know yourself, explore, and then figure out, which path you want to take. You don't have to decide today. So I always tell my students, you don't have to choose a career path today. You're just in grade 12. Ease out, it's okay
Take it
to
easy,
feel,
right?
it's okay to be like, my friend knows he wants to be a doctor, but I don't know where I want to go, and it's okay. So I think that's something to do with, India as well. Like, I'm a traditional girl as well, coming from that aspect. I totally get how much pressures could kind of sway away your, that chasing dream kind of thing. But I feel like community colleges open doors for you. Like, you could choose a lot of subjects. You could figure out in the first year. And then even change if you want to. You can change your mind. You can change your subject. You can change your program. That all is possible with a community college, and you can go undecided as well. So, I know nobody wants to do that. The parents would be like, what is going on with you? But that's a possibility. So, there are so many options that way.
So, for any of the streams, that if somebody would like to go for engineering or science programs or management programs, or even like I guess, medical programs also.
Right.
This
Yes.
is the pathway that they can choose, right?
That's right. Yes. So we have around 130 programs at the moment,
Okay.
which is available on our website, so students can, take a look at that. But in addition, they can go for the programs that are not even listed out there.
Oh,
Yes. So, for example, we don't have chemical engineering, but we have engineering. So they
Okay.
can start their journey there and
right.
then kind of streamline into chemical engineering in third and the fourth year. Same thing for food science or subjects like that. So there wouldn't be a name to the program saying food science or chemical engineering, but there's always something that they can start their base on and then kind of build from there. And then in third and the fourth year, they can pursue that program if they already have that clarity that I want to go for this program.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. And what are the costs which are involved into that?
Sure. Our tuition fees is around $13,000, so around like 11 lakhs a year.
Okay.
Which I would say is probably equivalent to a lot of universities in India. So that
Right.
might be a shocker to a lot of audience. But that being said, they do that only for 2 years, right? So there's a lot of saving that parents can actually do
Can
in
do,
the
yes.
2 years.
Yes.
Also can get scholarships in the middle. And then they can transfer. So that money that's saved, that could actually be used to pay the UC Berkeley fees that, they're
Yes.
aiming for.
Yeah.
Because that's higher, way higher, right?
Yeah.
But the total of it comes down to, it's a lot of savings that they can do. And also the certificate they get after completing the bachelor's is the same. It looks just the same, right? Whether they do start their journey from community college, which is a 2+2 way, or if they start at UC Berkeley, that is if they get through, then also they get the same certificate.
Just
so
to
the
have
same
more
degree.
clarity about that.
Sure.
Like for community colleges, $13,000 per year.
Correct.
And for UC Berkeley, $60,000 per year.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Right.
You know the
They
number.
can just
Right
find
now
the,
the tuition
the
I think,
difference
is
between
around
the right.
$53,000
Yeah.
per year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you just to go to that point, it's about $80,000 in savings
Right.
going to us for 2 years before a UC.
Yes.
Not just Berkeley, but a UC, versus going year one to a UC. So a parent may ask, oh, Steve and Isha, why would my son or daughter not go directly? Well, number one, are they admitted or not?
Right.
If they are, financially, is that kind of within your comfort level? Is it feasible? And also, what is their goal? Because that's one question I always ask parents. Are you looking at a master MBA? So there's a lot of cost savings could be applied to
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yes.
And then a third reason would be, are you aware of class size and some of the other dynamics that first and 2 years of that university compared to us? And are you comfortable with that? If you are, great, go. But the reality is we can't say yes to all those three things very often. So
So what are the deadlines and intakes which are open for programs?
Sure. We have the typical January intake, which is a spring intake. And then we have the fall intake, which is August, just like most of the universities in the US. But additionally, we have 3 more intakes, which is at Diablo Valley College.
Okay.
And that is the March intake. We call it Academic Bridge program. So they basically can apply in March, then they can do in summer around June, and then in October. So
Okay.
those are additional intakes. So
additional
in all, we
intakes are
have
there.
like 5 intakes now
Okay.
for international students that they can apply. It also helps when, you're like, for example, right now you were asking me the visa deadlines and all that, like, the students are not getting in. So I think that's where, so somebody who has skipped, let's say fall 2025, they were waiting to get, maybe they've got the I-20, but they don't have the visa date in hand. So they can now actually look at our October intake, which is coming up. We still have applications open. So, they could apply to that. They can utilize their time. Because I know as parents and as a student, time is everything here. Like, coming from an Indian perspective, they don't want to waste their time, right? They want to utilize that. And I think that's when our academic bridge programs kind of help them start on time. They are not missing out. They don't have to wait for the spring intake now. They can start right away.
So if what sort of cycle is there? Like if you look at the cycle, like if somebody would start in September, so they would complete their 2 years in September only, right? August, September only. And they would join the third year in university in September, right? If somebody would start in May or March, how this cycle would be working for the student?
if a student starts in late August, they would finish if they're due 2 years, typically May.
Okay.
So they have a 3-month, 4-month gap
Okay, gap is there.
between our college and university. So a lot of students choose to work
Right.
off campus during that gap, or they could just transfer directly. If students start in January, it really depends on the speed. We call it 2+2, but the reality is it's really about credits or units, how fast they complete them.
Right.
So if they finish in January, most students that do 2 years will finish in December. But they can, if it's possible, they can finish in May. If they take summer classes, they can. So it's really wide open in terms of start-finish time. It's really up to the student.
Okay.
One other point I wanted to highlight, though, was one of the different aspects about community college is the application window. So the window is wide open, much wider for
Right.
community college applications. So this is a generalization, but we're typically almost 12 months out. So students can apply for fall 2026,
Okay.
basically in another week.
Right.
So almost 12 months before.
Okay.
So it's a much wider window, so they can apply much earlier. And we also have later deadlines, so it's open.
Right.
Of course, they don't want to wait too late for the visa issuance and all that, especially nowadays, right? But I think it is kind of calming to know that they may not have missed something and they can start early. It's a wide window in that regard. So that's, I think, one of the distinguishing characteristics of community colleges, generally speaking.
Okay. Right. Isha, you mentioned that they can avail some sort of scholarships in the middle.
Sure.
Like in the beginning also, do they have any sort of scholarships if they are coming with some very meritorious background sort of things?
Yeah, I mean, right now we have one scholarship for Indian students, which they can, once they apply, they can concurrently apply for that scholarship, which is the Commonwealth Scholarship, and it is for actually 56 countries. India just got
Right.
included in that
Right,
list, which is a good news. So it's not a lot, but it's something. It's around $2,000. So that is for spring 2026. So that's something, again, we have the applications open.
Right.
Sorry. So they can apply.
Right.
And of course, they can apply for scholarships as well. But in addition to that, students can, once they start community college journey with us at one of our colleges, we have tons of scholarships available for them, which is again listed on our website. But it's going to be right after they complete the first semester.
Okay.
In the second semester, those scholarships starts to kick in. Yes, it could be merit-based. It could be dependent on what the scholarship might be looking for.
Okay.
It could vary in dollars. So yes, scholarships are available.
Right.
And
That's a really
yeah.
good news for students.
Yeah, yeah. And I think Stephen mentioned that the transfer scholarships part also exists, which is after, because, imagine our fees is around $13,000
Right.
and now a student is supposed to pay like $50,000.
Right.
So I think a transfer scholarship will also make a lot of sense for parents, thinking from their perspective again, that they could save a lot even after their community college journey kind of ends with us but starts at another university. And that could vary as well. We have so many partners who are providing lot of scholarships. I think maybe around $30,000 or so. Correct me if I'm wrong, Stephen.
Higher,
Maybe
the
more.
Recent graduate,
Yeah.
she's got to
She's
42.
42. Yes. So so there is a variation in that, and that's very promising. That you can
Right.
get your degree and the dollar amount that you think, and the
Exactly.
ROI on that is huge.
And I think that actually kind of indirectly addresses the misconception about the
Yes.
perceived lack of quality. How is
Yeah.
it possible for our students to go through the community college path
Right.
and get a transfer scholarship if the quality is low? So, and this throughout, universities in the U.S. and colleges.
Yeah.
So.
Great. And what sort of accommodation that a student would be getting over there in first year? Any support available inside the campus or outside the campus? They have to look.
Sure. So we don't have on-campus housing.
Okay.
Most of the community colleges in California, they don't have on-campus housing. 70% or more would not have.
Okay.
We have accommodation right, almost next door to the community college. Diablo Valley College has maybe a couple of minutes walk, and they have those options. There are also options for homestay, so that's something could be very unique to the Indian market again, because students can feel safe with a family versus, just where they are out and they're probably sharing with a friend.
Okay.
So we do have homestays, which means that they will be staying with an American family, but they will have their own kind of unit, and also would be inclusive of like utilities, like internet would be like a part of their rent, things like that, and even food for that matter. So that kind of helps, when you're coming in. So I always recommend my students that, go for that initially, until you're figuring out that you have friends and you can share a room with them, right? Because there are options out there where they can, rent a house and maybe 4 of them or so have the same kitchen. But, that's also a possibility. But homestay just doesn't come with any contract. That's the one part of it, which is good. So students don't have to be in an 11-month contract, which will be a usual case when you're renting a home or an apartment. This one is more like month to month, so you're not married into it. So if you're uncomfortable and if you don't think it's the right fit, you can always say, it's not working out for me. Whereas in a rental apartment or a house, it would be tough to kind of break that, right? Because there may be extra charges that might be out because you're breaking a contract. So the best way to get in would be a homestay and then kind of make your way to renting by yourself.
And just to add to that, so employees of community colleges, we're not permitted to assist students in finding housing. We are allowed to list examples of options for them. So including like a Facebook page that students have for the college, of kind of a chat group of findings. So we basically just kind of spotlight the options in terms of resources, and they choose it, but we're not allowed to help them.
Great. So beyond academics, if we talk about like our student life in California, like what sort of activities they can participate in, or any club they can join on campus, anything that you provide such facilities or amenities to students?
Yeah, that's one of the things that really struck me the most when I arrived from the 4-year university world to the community college world in California. It was really like a beehive of students on campus, and it reminded me of my experience working at residential, kind of smaller 4-year college universities. So we have about 130 student clubs across our 3 colleges. Diablo Valley College arguably has the most robust student life. I think there are now 75 clubs. It changes every semester because students can literally start a club one semester based on their interest, which is a great way to show initiative and creativity when they apply for a transfer to a university. But there are all types of clubs and activities. We have the student government. So student government, for example, is, I think, nearly 40%, maybe 50% international students.
Okay.
And the students in student government have a faculty advisor, but they are really creating policies for the college. So it's a serious club. And they gain a lot of like public speaking skills and cross-cultural communication and problem solving. And they do look at the budget and all types of things. And so there's that. There are academic clubs. So we have computer science clubs. We had a student not too long ago started a computer science club as well. There are cultural clubs. So whether from a country like Japan that has a student club, there's also an international student club. There are also like interest clubs, so like hiking and that sort of thing. So there's a wide array of clubs, and I think what's really important to highlight is students in leadership positions in these clubs, or even if not, even if they don't have a formal title within the club, they can really fine-tune a lot of skills and gain skills, whether it's leadership skills or I mentioned public speaking or budgeting, problem solving, cross-cultural communication. They learn to work with others, organizational skills. Those are all things that they can speak to as a story of their development. Their development is not just how well they perform in the classroom, but it's more holistic than that. And that's where the student clubs really make a difference. And it's not just student clubs, but they can engage on campus in other ways too. So on-campus employment. So we have students working across the campus in many different departments or areas, whether it's International Student Office, the Welcome Services Center, which is like leading campus tours for all guests and visitors,
Okay.
the President's Office, Marketing Department, certain academic departments, cafeteria, etc. So they allow students to gain valuable kind of networking and maybe practical experience, earn a little money as well. It also looks good on a resume.
Okay.
But they also make a difference too with respect to getting a recommendation letter down the road. But it's networking, it's growth, not just academic, more extracurricular growth.
Is it
And we
for
also have
20 hours?
sports clubs as well.
Sports club,
like
okay.
intramurals and all that. So
Okay.
it's not too different from any four-year university, just a little smaller.
Is it for 20 hours a week? We can do?
That's correct. On-campus
Yeah.
employment during the full-time semester.
Okay.
So from like this week until December would be 20 hours per week is the ceiling.
Okay.
But students can work different jobs, like 2 10-hour jobs, and then they can work full-time during the breaks. Right?
During the breaks.
Yeah.
But during the break, how do you provide support to them in terms of getting CPT or later on OPT?
So CPT, curricular practical training, that's one type of off-campus work. The one thing about CPT is it does not require U.S. government authorization.
Okay.
It's authorized by typically a faculty member who endorses
Yes,
it and
yes.
somebody in the International Student Office.
Okay.
By definition, curricular practical training not only must be directly related to the major of the program of study, but it should be an integral part of that program of study. It doesn't have to be listed in the catalog, but it has to be deemed integral to that student's program of study. But in many cases, it is listed in the catalog. So, for example, going back to the computer science reference, in the computer science major at Diablo Valley College, there is a CPT option. Basically, it's internship.
Okay.
So the beauty of that is students are getting academic credit, but it's not in a traditional classroom sense. They're
Okay.
getting that credit through an internship with a company. So, for example, we've had computer science students work with a web startup company in the Bay Area. So that's amazing because they're getting academic credit, they're getting professional experience, really practical experience, and I believe some of these are paid as well. So that's something that they're eligible for after they complete an academic year, which is 9 months. They can do CPT, that's anywhere in the United States. And the OPT, on the other hand, does require U.S. government authorization,
Yes.
which is really pretty much a slam dunk. It's pretty much a given. They're going to get that.
Yeah.
The question is whether they get what is called an EAD, Employment Authorization Document card. They get that card, but can they find the job? They need to find a job within 90 days.
Right.
But our location is one of our strong points.
Right.
And being in the Bay Area, being near the national hub for innovation and tech and AI and all that, that's not going away because we have the population, we have the feeder institutions, academic institutions, and by the way, a feeder to those institutions that feed the industry is coming from our colleges. So it's all connected, and we're talking about a population of around 10 million people and so diverse. So, generally it's easier to find work in those types of settings than it is in a more rural environment.
And how should they enjoy California life?
California is, we both live there, so we can
Yeah.
both talk to this. California is amazing.
Right.
Oh, so, number one, just the weather. Our average high temperature is, I think, 22 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
I'm happy to think in Celsius, Fahrenheit. Our average low is 9 Celsius.
Okay.
It is sunny every day from mid-April until late October, early November. Basically, there's like rain once or twice, but it's pretty much sunshine every single day. It's beautiful. Our rainy season is super, super light rain.
Right.
It doesn't get too cold. California has everything in terms of the just natural landscape. So the ocean nearby, there's some beaches where The water's a little bit cold where we are in Northern California, but we do have nice beaches. There are also like cliffs for hiking and all that. I've done a lot of hiking there. For anybody that's an outdoors enthusiast, it is paradise.
Okay.
A lot of mountain biking, a lot of trail running, a lot of active lifestyle. There's a lot of open space as well. We have the Sierra Nevada mountains. They're nothing compared to the Himalayas, but for us, they're pretty high. I'm kind of converting into from feet to meters, so about 4,000 meters
Okay.
height. But they get a lot of snow every year. So last year we had 20 meters of snow,
Oh, isn't it?
and that's about 2.5 hours away. So going back to the host family, I've heard students talk about their host families being their kind of families, their American family. And some of them like to do the outdoor activities and go to like Lake Tahoe, where you can snow ski and snowboard and enjoy, mountain alpine lakes and snow for about 6 months of the year.
Okay.
So we have that nearby, but it's just everything. We have Southern California, we have Yosemite National Park, a lot of national parks like
Yes.
Yosemite. That's
Big forest area is there.
Yeah.
Redwood forest. We have deserts like Joshua Tree and all that, and you've got big cities in LA and the Bay Area and all that. But it's just a special place in terms of climate and landscape for the parents out there.
Yeah.
Napa Valley, Sonoma Valley, which is wine country. It's one of the wine capitals of the world.
Right.
I don't want to
Yes.
anger any of my French or Australian friends. Actually, I had some Indian wine the other day.
Oh, wow.
For the first time. It was interesting. But that's nearby as well. But it's just the landscape is incredible, and you couple that with the demographic diversity and then the cuisines and all that. It's just kind of a magical place, really.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I kind of took a lot of that.
I was feeling your emotions when
Yeah.
you were talking about California. Right?
Sorry. Isha.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Well, I mean, Bay Area is Bay Area, you
Yeah.
know. Like for me, I think when I was there, I've lived there for 8 years, moved back, but I think I still would love to go back, of course, take my family there.
Oh.
And I think I was living in the South Bay, so there was a lot of Indians that I saw because most of the tech companies attract a lot of Indians, you know. So you have restaurants there. If you're missing Indian food, you know, in California, you will be able to find it easily, especially the Bay Area.
Okay.
And there are tons of options out there. And to network. I think that was, you know, another part that when I was pursuing my, master's in the city, it was so easy to network. It was so easy to just, bring your card out and literally just, give it to somebody. Which,
Right.
I mean, I know it's not an Indian culture thing, but I feel like I really came out of my comfort zone there where I could be like talking to anybody at a bar and networking, literally talking, hey, what about internship? What about jobs, And you would see, the company's VP and, you would see all of that crowd right there in the Bay
Right,
Area.
right.
So you could be walking into the same bar as them, maybe chatting with them and not even know where they're from.
Yeah.
But it's so welcoming. Like, that's what I mean to say that, everybody is willing to chat and talk and, getting to know. They're very open. Yeah.
And this may sound trivial, but in terms of going back to the weather thing, I grew up in Florida, which is very humid, hot, humid. We have lots of bugs, mosquitoes, and all that.
Yeah.
So my family visit from Florida. One thing that struck them the most was the fact that there are no bugs, there are no mosquitoes, so you can sit outside and not be
true.
bombarded. So it's
Yeah.
really something you take for granted when you go somewhere else. Is I realized, wow, we don't have any bugs, so we have flies and all
So
that.
true. Yeah.
But it's, you don't have
Yeah.
to worry about it. No
Yep.
insect repellent, no.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. You're literally
For-
sitting
for-
out at the
For
restaurants.
holiday movies also, California is the
Yes.
place, right?
That's right.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I think connect that to more broadly is there is a spirit of explore, can do, find your fit, believe in yourself.
Yes.
There's a huge startup culture in California.
That's
for
right.
sure, and I've heard that here as well, and especially in South India, I saw that a lot. But there is really a belief, and there are countless examples and testimonials of people that have done that and kind of find their way and their path, and there's that kind of carve your own path, carve your own niche through that support of others mentality as well. So it's, in a way, it's, I'm not sure if it's empowering, but it's energizing. And there's that sense too that at the colleges in higher education in California, it's kind of a dreamer place and can do, and it's just kind of an energizing place to be.
Great, good. All right, let's have a rapid round fire, right? So I would be asking some very quick questions,
Okay.
and you need to give some very quick answers. Okay, don't worry, I would not be asking your bank balance. So Stephen, first of all, I would be asking some questions from you, like
Okay.
what did you enjoy most in India? Food, culture, or anything else?
Food for sure. People, the hospitality, the spirit of everybody I've met. I mean, mainly my interactions were school counselors, students,
Okay,
and hotel staff. So,
okay,
yeah.
great. Netflix or books? Which one do you prefer most? When you have a free time to,
I have to say books.
okay,
Yeah.
any book that you would recommend?
No, I'm reading several. I can't think of anyone right now, but I'm reading 3 at a time.
Okay.
And I listen to audiobooks too when I drive. So I like
Okay.
books. It's
Okay.
an escape and also make me think differently. So
One food in California that you would recommend to Indian students
oh
that
boy.
they should definitely.
I mean, there's fast food like In-N-Out Burger, which everybody has to try. It's
Okay.
not the best, but no, I mean, I think if they have an opportunity, whether it's with a host family or to join an American family, whether it's for barbecue, picnic, or in like a Thanksgiving dinner,
Okay,
that's what I strongly recommend because eating out is different from a home cooked meal.
okay. When one thing that you always pack when you travel abroad?
One thing that I always pack.
Yeah.
Um, adapter.
Okay.
Yeah, for different sockets, plugs.
You can't forget that.
No,
Definitely.
I recently got a present for a very compact mobile adapter, so that's I don't want to lose that.
Thank you, Stephen. Isha, are you ready?
Yes.
So your favorite Indian dish or any street food? I know that
Yeah.
you are based out of Thailand. So you,
Yeah.
whenever you come to India,
Yeah.
which food you like most
It'll
that should not be
be-
missing at any case?
For sure. I'm having a lot of Indian food because I'm making sure Steven tries it. So I'm getting my tummy fold. But it has to be pani puri as a street food
Oh,
for sure.
Yes.
And then I love kebabs. So I cannot miss that. Whenever I'm in India, I gotta have kebabs.
Great.
Yeah.
Delhi or Mumbai? Which do you like more?
Ooh, that's a tough one. So I'm a Delhi girl, but
Okay.
Delhi is always like flavorful for me. That's what I call it.
Right.
Because it's, my parents are here, everybody's here, but Mumbai's definitely got the vibe. So I would say it's hard to decide between the two. Yeah.
And if you had to describe College of Contra Costa in one word, what would you say?
I would say for students, it can be transformative because it can really transform their lives in terms of the career path they're going to choose. They can't even imagine today what they're going to be planning for and what they can achieve. If I have to restart, I would start at a community college. Trust me, Diablo Valley College.
That's a good word.
And in one word, if you would like to describe WorldEdX, then what would you?
I mean, I think global for you guys for sure, because where you're heading and what you guys are doing, that's great. And bringing university together on a platform like this is amazing. I think it'll be such an eye opener for a lot of students and parents. So definitely global.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we are doing a lot of different activities over here. We are doing podcast. We are doing inviting delegates to just share their programs and benefits directly to students.
Yeah.
Right. We are doing AMAs also. I Ask Me Anything session on every
Right.
Friday evening.
Correct.
So anyone can ask any question.
That's
Our
right.
team is live. Right. So we have taken challenge to ourselves. Right.
Yeah.
And we are doing cafe events also.
Yes,
we are
you told me
setting up
about
some
that.
very casual environment.
Yes.
Like we are inviting students, parents
Right.
in cafes
Nice.
and uni reps also, right?
Yeah.
Next time, definitely, whenever you
Yeah.
would be in India, we would like to invite you also during this visit. Unfortunately, we did not have that Starbucks cafe setup.
Right.
But definitely next time.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you so much for joining us today, and we have covered lot of things today, and that definitely would help students who actually are looking some sort of cost-friendly options, or they would like to know US culture in advance before going into university directly, sort of things, right? And your ITAP program definitely, it I'm wishing you all the best for this program, right? It's
Thank you.
something that we also, our counselor also would get trained on this, and they
Right.
would be speaking with their students also as well, because it's something that they can start from their home,
Right.
right? They need not to wait for a year that what is happening and what would be happening in future. They can start straightforward for that also as well. But if I would take I would highlight one key takeaways from today's discussion. Then U.S. education doesn't have to be out of reach, right? The kind of your support and your sort of things, your programs, 2 years in community college, which is very affordable for students. Almost more than $80,000 they can save, and they can keep that money for doing their masters also. So lot of plan they can have, right? Sort of things.
The dream is possible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dream is possible. So one final advice that you like to give to students one by one, right? If you like to start, one final advice to our students.
Yeah, I think I mean it's such an exciting time in their lives to look at the next chapter, whether it's in India or abroad, and looking abroad. I mean, having lived abroad myself quite a bit and studied abroad, I highly encourage students to take that leap. It takes some bravery and courage, but it's really life changing. I know that's kind of a cliche, but it really does change perspectives. Um, Connected with that, I would really recommend that they don't be shy about asking questions, whether it's applying to universities or colleges in the U.S. or other countries, but really take advantage of this because the support, the staff on the other side are there to help and guide them as well. So don't be shy about asking questions. Don't be afraid to find that kind of best fit, to find that first major leap
Right.
abroad.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, I think from my end, it will be keep exploring the opportunities. So, it kind of goes in connection with asking questions. When you ask questions, that's when you understand that there are so many opportunities out there.
Yeah.
So, be inquisitive for sure. Aim high if you
Right.
can, right, for students, because I feel like the percentage just doesn't make your life. Being an average student, come out there are so many options out there. It's not the end of the world if you haven't done good in school. That's what I
Right.
think. And yeah, don't stop chasing your dreams.
Yes,
I
yes.
always believe in that. I'm still chasing one. So,
Yeah,
there is no age or criteria to
Yes.
chase a dream, I guess. So yeah, keep doing that, keep building from there. Yeah,
Great.
that's about that.
Great. Thank you so much, Stephen and Isha,
Yeah.
for joining us and sharing such a wonderful information to our students. And thanks to our viewers also who have been watching this. And I know that you have got a lot of things today. And if you have any further doubts, you are most welcome. You can connect with us. You can connect with our counselors also. We would help you out that how to get into community colleges, how to shortlist your program, how to apply, and lot of other things are there. We'll make your entire roadmap also as well. So thank you. Like next time, like we would be coming such sort of podcasting in future also. Like we are bringing some more expert delegates also, right? So keep watching and see you next time on podcast. Thank you. Thanks.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.